We are now joined on the phone by our good friend Dino Gaudio. He is now one of two people. We had John Rothstein on yesterday who have been to a UK practice as they get ready for the Bahamas. They went both Monday and Tuesday to get ready. Calipari is actually in Las Vegas now with Team USA. But Dino, Coach, first of all, thanks for taking a minute to come on.
Well, thanks for having me, Matt.
Are you going to be back at the Calipari camp, by the way? I'm ready to be yelled at if you are.
I will. I will be down there for the fantasy camp in August, and I'm going to puff my chest out a little bit and say to defend my fantasy camp title. I don't know how much merit that has, but coaching you old guys, and I emphasize old guys.
Slow down here, Dino. You're a lot older than I am.
It's been really fun over the years, so it's a great time, and yes, I will be back.
All right, well, good. All right, you saw practice while you were in town. We haven't seen it, okay? And so this group, everybody is crazy excited about it. So tell me, what were your initial thoughts when you got to see next year's team play?
Well, let me say this, Matt. They should be crazy excited about this team. And, just watching them initially, the thing that really came to the forefront with me, I think the Harrisons are going to be much improved from what we saw last year. I know Aaron down the stretch made huge shots in the tournament and was just outstanding. And I think we're going to see more of that from the Harrison twins than what we saw earlier in the year. I think those two have made and are going to continue to make a huge jump from year one to year two. And I think when you have good guards coupled with all the other things that Coach Cal and the Cats have, they're going to be difficult to beat. And let me say this. I don't know, and I don't want to put a jinx on them. I'm pretty sure nobody in the SEC will beat them this year. I know it's July 30th, and a lot of things can happen in the interim, but I'm going to tell you something. With the guards, Booker can really shoot the basketball, and Coach Cal could put him on the wing, obviously, with one of the Harrisons, and have shooters on both wings. The size was so impressive watching it. Now, Willie Cauley never practiced. Of course, he was injured. Trey Lyles didn't practice. He was still injured. But when you have four guys, 6'10" or better, Dakari was really strong and looked much improved as well. I came out of there shaking my head saying, wow, these guys are as talented a team as I may have seen in 10 years.
Wow, boy, strong statements. Don't think you're going to lose in the SEC and as talented a team as you've seen in the last 10 years. When you talk about all this improvement, to what do you sort of attribute it to? Is it just the process of getting older? Is there anything do you think they put in more time in the summer? I mean, why do you think the twins, Dakari, et cetera, look so much better?
I think because they're maturing, and it's I don't know how John's done it from, in his first 5 seasons, 3 Final Fours, 2 championship games, 1 title, 15 first-round picks. You can go on and on at the amazing job that John has done there. But it is. The kids mature. They make the biggest jump from, their freshman year to their sophomore year. And these kids are a year older, and they know what he wants and what's expected. And, the hardest thing, Matt, sometimes when you're coaching young kids when they first come in is understanding the pace of practice. In other words, how hard you have to go and how long you have to go hard for. And I think that's so difficult when you first get kids on campus their freshman year. They've been stars. They've been pampered. Everybody's telling them how good they are. Now they come to UK practice, and Coach Cal is into them a little bit, and they're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I was a star last year. Yeah. Coach never yelled at me. Everything I did was great. But I think that understanding of how hard you got to practice, how long you have to practice hard, and understanding the demands that he places on them, they got that now for the most part, and I think it is. That year or extra of maturity makes all the difference in the world.
Talk to me about Tyler Ulis. All right, so you look at him, he's little, and you say, well, you look at Calipari point guards over there, they're big guys. I mean, he likes 6 feet taller, sometimes 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", Harrison twin, kind of big guys. And now all of a sudden there's this little guy. I mean, he stands next to me. He's up to my shoulder. I mean, how does that work? Do you think that can fit in Calipari's system? What do you think of him?
I think it can fit, and here's why, man. I think he is a tough son of a gun. Now, the first time I walked in practice, that's the first thing that caught my eye, how little he was compared to the twins. And I was like, holy Toledo, this kid's a little guy. But he has a toughness about him and a wherewithal about him and a wonderful leadership quality. And I remember, and then we all know I was initially on and talking to Fran McCaffrey, several months ago, and he goes, this little guy is as tough as can be. And he needs to be with his size. I think that's why he's been productive at that size at the high school level, because of how hard-nosed he was. But I think you could play him with the twins. You could play him in there with one of them and put Booker on a wing. And I think you have some other options with him, but he is little compared to the other two.
Now, as a former coach, you're close with Cal. You know him well. You've been around him at various points. Last year, throughout the season, I felt like he kind of got beat down. He got re-energized in the tournament. He did his famous tweak, but I felt like he kind of got beat down throughout the year. He kind of put on weight. He just didn't look happy. I see some energy from him that I haven't seen since probably 2012. Do you feel the same way in your time around him?
I think so. I think last year he looked frustrated to me at times on the sidelines. He was really barking at those kids, and you know what? They needed yelled at. But I agree with you. As I watched him, and I called a game last year live up close and personal, he looked frustrated to me. And there's no question when I've seen him at practice here, and I went down to the camp, obviously. I was there Sunday, Monday, and yesterday as well. He does look a little revitalized. He does look like he got a little bounce back in his step. And I think so much coaches need to recharge. But you know what, Matt? When you make a turnaround like he did last year, that energizes you again. I mean, losing beats you up, but you need those wins to give you that energy and get back. And I think the run that they had at the end of last year really picked him back up after what was, we all know, a difficult early season run for the Cats.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. Again, I like to ask this of people who really know Cal, and I don't think there are all that many people who do. But you get invited back to that camp every year, so that tells me you know him. Do you think when all is said and done that John Calipari retires at Kentucky, or that he one day looks and dips his toe in the NBA? Your call. Give us your take. We'll hold you to it and just see what do you think happens. You think he finishes his career at UK?
You know what? I hope he finishes his
No, I don't like hope, Dino. I want a prediction. I mean, we all hope. I got a room full of people here in Maysville who hope, right? Am I right about that? This isn't hope. The question is, what do you think will happen?
I'm thinking he's making enough money at UK that he stays there and finishes up his career as a head coach at the University of Kentucky. And you know what? He's still got a lot of dark in that hair and everything. I just hope he doesn't quit too soon and come over and steal my job at ESPN.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. He has that job in his future whenever he finishes. Dino Gaudio, thank you. We look forward to seeing you here in Lexington in a few weeks. Appreciate it.